What's crack-a-lackin' Challenger? I'm your host, James Morelan, and today we're doing something that I have wanted to do for a long time. So, currently the fish room is being redone, and I've been doing a lot of videos up here because it's kind of like a clean area compared to the fish room. The back room has actually been completely painted, the floors were sealed, and also the walls were painted. So I'm actually going to start moving some of my aquariums around and getting everything ready for that. So that's exciting. But one thing I've noticed, and one thing I've gotten so many comments about, is my aquascaping. So recently, a lot of my aquariums have fallen to pieces. Whether that be stones that have fallen over and I haven't fixed, or I haven't gotten more of stones, which I was planning to do, or the fact that plants started melting or dying. That's because I've just been doing a lot of things in the fish room and so much construction, everything's in a mess. I haven't been able to dose, actually I haven't even fertilized my tanks for a long time. And also sometimes the lights are kept on too long and sometimes kept on too little. So that's no bueno for plants, especially when I'm trying to grow them. So hopefully once everything gets set back into a cycle, it'll be perfect. But I have about a week until I start setting up my tanks. But for this week, it's actually aquascaping week. So we're gonna be working on micro aquascapes, starting with this little vase. So I'm actually gonna try working on my aquascaping skills on smaller tanks when I don't have to use as many resources, when it's easy to move things, just trying to get that mindset and getting ready for this. So we're going to start off with this nano tank that actually holds 1,054 milliliters. And then we're going to move up to a 1 gallon tank and then my 3 gallon tank. So it's going to be a progression and we're just going to work and try getting better at aquascaping. So to start off, I actually got this vase from Walmart for $4, I think. So it was really cheap, and you can see it's a nice little circle, and one thing that I really like is there's not a lot of distortion when we're looking at it. So when something's inside of here, it doesn't bend around the glass. So that's a high quality glass, and I'm super excited I got it, especially for that cheap price. So the ingredients we need are actually all lined up. So I'm going to show you guys what they are and what we're doing. So for this aquascape, I'm trying to challenge myself at becoming a better aquascaper. So for this specific aquascape, I'm actually going to be trying to do only one sort of stone, one substrate, and also one plant. So that's kind of a challenge. I don't know if you guys have ever tried doing that, but since we are the challengers, I challenge you to try doing that with an aquascape. But we're only going to be using one type of stone, we're going to be using one plant, and also one substrate. So the plant that I've chosen is actually Murama moss, from the Murama moss balls. So I've actually had it, and they're actually ripped up little moss balls I was trying to grow, and they're actually little nice chunks. So I'm actually going to be super gluing those on to the rocks. And the rocks we have, I'm actually happy to announce that wildpetsupply.com, we actually just released these new rocks that are little gray slate stones. So it's going to be really cool to try using them. I haven't used them in any tanks yet, and I'm actually going to be using some of them on my bigger tanks. So that's going to be something cool to try. You guys can check them out down below. I have the rock little bags. And they're really awesome and really affordable. So the other thing is a cup of substrate. I don't know if it will be enough, but hopefully. So yeah, I just really want to work on my aquascaping skills. I just want to become a better aquascaper. Alright, so I'm going to take the camera down here and I guess I'll show you guys what I'm working on and what I'm doing. Alright, so first off, I'm going to take the vase and I'm actually going to go to my sink and rinse it out so there's nothing left in here in case there are any chemicals or anything, just to make sure it's clean. Alright, now that the vase has been cleaned, I did not remove the sticker from the bottom, but I'm actually going to line everything that we have. So there are the moss balls, here are the stones. And I do have more of these, but I don't know if I'm going to use all of them. And you can check out everything for this build in the description. I'll have links for everything. But yeah, I guess we can start off just by adding the stone into the aquarium. I am hoping that's enough. It actually does look like enough. Yeah, that's definitely enough. And since moss balls are such a dynamic plant, they don't really require a lot of nutrients. They don't require soil, so you can plant them on stones like I'm going to be doing. So that just makes it 50 times easier, especially in such a nano tank where I'm not going to have any plants or anything, so they won't be able to get nitrogen. Alright, so I'm going to squeeze out these moss balls into the vase just to get water off of it so it's easier to stick with the super glue. Alright, so I guess I'll put in some stones. I kind of already have a scope or an idea of what I want to do. I want to have the rocks kind of jutting forward like this and having them face into the tank like this at the front, and then kind of having a little bit of a pyramid in the middle. But I want to have flat pieces exposed where I can actually super glue on the moss balls. I don't know if I want to do a thick amount of moss balls because I don't have too many. I have more in the basement, so I could get more. So I'm going to start with the flat stones and kind of move them. That looks pretty cool. I do have a darker substrate, which might not look the best with these stones. I'm just trying to stick with one type of substrate. So it's supposed to be a very simple very minimalistic tank, especially since we are only dealing with one of each thing. Yo, it'd be so cool if I could get a shrimp for this tank. I do not know what I'm going to do for lighting for this tank, so I'm just going to shine my flashlight over it. So that's kind of what it would look like. It has like a nice little scape in the top parts, and you can actually see how it wraps around. I still have quite a few stones left. I might put them in the back. But nothing's going to be living in here, so I don't have to worry about like fish or anything. I'm actually kind of thinking about getting shrimp for this tank. But I guess since I have everything kind of set up, I can start super gluing on the moss with the stones. That actually looks like a little mountain. Oh, you know what I will do too? To make it like look like it's coming out of the desk, I'm gonna add some more of this stone. This stone is actually really awesome, and I'm glad I could add it to the store. So what it has, it's like a gray color, but it actually has a tone of silver to it. So it does look a little silvery too. So I really like that about that. So I'm gonna clean this area up, I'm gonna add water to it, and I guess I'll come back when I'm done with that. Alright guys, so I am back and the aquascape is finally done, and it actually looks really impressive. But one thing before I show you, I want to tell you guys, so one thing that I'm trying to do with this entire series and with the fish room in general, I kind of want to make aquariums more natural and more beautiful looking, not only inside the tank, but also outside the tank. So I don't want it to be like, hey dude, look at my fish tank with a goldfish, and like it's sitting in the middle with a huge fish tank stand. I just want to make it look like extremely natural. I want to make it look like you literally took a piece of nature and put it out in your aquarium. So I'm super excited with that. Hopefully this helps and you guys kind of see what I want to do. Like, this is just a nanoscape. This is the first one out of the entire series. It actually looks pretty good. I'm also using some air plants, and you can check them out down below also, wildpetsupply.com. But yeah, this entire aquascape, like, you guys could do this if you wanted to with only like a $29 budget, or like even like you could probably do it for like $19 if you really wanted to. All you do is have to get the vase. You can get the rocks, the stones, the moss ball. It's just extremely affordable. And like, if you want to have this on your desk, you could. Like, I'm just saying, it looks beautiful. Okay, enough of me like jabbering and talking. I'll show you guys the tank. Alright guys, so that is the tank. I hope you enjoyed it. So there are a couple things I just want to address. That the fact that you might not like it because it's so shallow, there's so much water space. Like, it would be good if you had fish. However, since this isn't going to have anything, I mean, I kind of want to put a shrimp in there just to see. I might get like a ghost shrimp or something. Comment if I should do that. That'd be really cool. But the fact that I leave such an open amount of space at the bottom, and I kind of have just a small little hill with moss and stuff, I could have just gotten some dragon stone like this. And this like would have been such a good centerpiece if I just had it in the middle, like a couple small pieces around it. Or even if I took this piece of cholla wood and had it coming out of the water and actually had an air plant in it. Actually, what? This would have been actually so cool if I had this on the inside of the aquarium. But the reason I did not want to do that is because I wanted to challenge myself, only using stone and one type of plant. Like, I just wanted to do that itself. I could have done some other things with like stacking it, but I wanted to use a small amount of resources to make it easier if you wanted to try doing this. Another thing, you might see the white little stuff, that is actually the acrylic bond, and that's gonna just grow over with the moss and you'll never see it again. That'll just take some time. And like, honestly, I could literally go in my fish room right now, pull out some plants, fill it up, but I like this simple. I like keeping it like simple-minded. It's like really, I don't know what the word, like minimalistic, I guess you could say. Like, it's just a simple thing. The substrate is a little bit distracting, but I think like if you see the mountains, like the sharp edges, of it. It just reminds you of like going on like some hilltop or something. I just really like this tank and this little aquascape. I think it really like connected with me for like the aquarium style. I really like this. I also like using plants outside of the tank and kind of separating it. So like you can see it has its own shelf. I cleaned it and everything. You can see the nice little pile of rocks. I actually tried gluing on some rocks, but I felt like just getting more rocks and piling it around it. But yeah, comment if you like this tank. It was quite a bit of work setting it all up, but it was well worth it. Alright guys, so I'm gonna go get Delta and put him around it and you guys can just see it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will catch you all on the flippity flop. I'll leave you with the note of Delta. I will see you all. Bye. Damn.